You're listening to a podcast from the Finnish Football Show.
Yes, it's the Finnish Football Show. I'm Mark Wiltshire. I'm joined for this episode by Mr. Keke Mulari. Hi, Keke.
Terve.
It's rather threadbare looking Finnish Football Show team for you today, but we're gonna look back at the recent back-to-back wins for the women's national team. The Helmarit beat Montenegro twice to go through to the Euro 2025 second playoff round, and they'll be playing against Scotland soon. So we'll have a look back at those games. And actually today, day of recording, the group for the next Women's Nations League were announced. It feels like it's all coming at once, really, Keke. We were a little bit late getting this match report thing out, and before we've even done it, we're looking forward to the next competition already.
That's it, mate. That's it, yeah. Coming thick and fast, as usual.
Yeah, so we'll have a look at those, the opponents that Finland have got there in Group B3. And then we'll turn our attention to the men's national team as the Huuhkajat are preparing to face Ireland and Greece in Group B2. This is Men's Nations League 2024, Group B2, where really only 2 wins will save us from relegation to League C. Why? Keke is clearly building himself up for a trip to Dublin as well for that away game in Ireland.
Yep, can't wait. It'll be my first trip to the Republic of Ireland. Obviously, I've been to the island of Ireland a couple of times with trips to Belfast with Huuhkajat, but this is my first time in the Irish Republic, so looking forward to it.
It's only slightly easier to say if you're doing it in Finnish. It would be Islanti ja Irlanti, but it's still tricky for me to wrap my tongue around. But let's do it then. Let's start with the recent Euro 2025 playoff. So just as a reminder, listener, Finland had the first round of playoffs. They had a 2-legged game against Montenegro, and the winner of that would go through to play the winners of Scotland versus Hungary. And the first now neither of us watched this game as it went out live. I have caught up with the highlights. The first leg was Montenegro 0, Finland 1, and having watched the highlights, it seems to me like both games were actually quite similar. Finland had lots of pressure, lots of chances, and in one game they tucked them away, and in the other game they were just wasteful, and that's what happened over in Podgorica. Have you been over there, Keke, on your travels?
Yeah, I went with the men's team. A very, very rainy Podgorica.
That was that game
when we were there. Yeah.
Was it the same stadium? Do you know?
It was
Right,
the same stadium. Yeah.
It was very empty.
Wonderful country. Yeah.
It was a very empty stadium. That was another difference between the two games. But in Podgorica, it was very empty stands and not that much atmosphere because of that. And yeah, Finland had all of the ball, had chances in the second and then the third minute, which is when they took the goal. Linda Sahlström, it was lovely. I've been bemoaning for a couple of years now that Anna Westerlund has been out of the team, and in this game there was a pass that was worthy of her long range passes from Nyström, a beautiful ball out wide on the left for Linda Sahlström, and she took it into the box. She was in acres of space because one defender was not playing the offside trap, and then as the ball went over, she put her hand up and looked around, but no, she was well onside, and went into the box and sort of slipped it past the keeper, and a goal in the third minute, and you're rubbing your hands thinking it's going all the way, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. And Montenegro had chances as well, a couple of decent chances that they couldn't tuck away. And I suppose in the end, Finland were probably happy to get away with the 1-0, knowing that they could have perhaps slipped up if one of those chances had gone in.
Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, mate, when that goal went in after 3 minutes. I mean, the kickoff time didn't lend itself to me being able to watch the game live, as you touched on there. But yeah, following it on the Twitter and the messages that were coming through on our group, yeah, goal after 3 minutes, and yeah, you're thinking here we go, but it didn't quite pan out like that. And yeah, I think the girls would have been pleased with the performance. You know, as you said, they did create chances, and yeah, it was just a bit of a not being able to sort of put them away. But clean sheet. Anna Daminen kept a clean sheet. Yeah, and the defensive four kept a clean sheet, so they would have been happy with that. And yeah, took them back to the fatherland and finished them off, as it were.
Yeah, I also missed the game live because at that very moment, me and Jules were having a very secret meeting with Stevie Grieve about things I couldn't possibly share. But don't you worry, listener, we've got our ear to the ground, all on your behalf. And I I arranged a meeting, and then when I got home, I was like, oh, okay, I've I've missed the game. So yeah, sorry, Helmarit. I will try harder in future. But yeah, you're right, Kiki. The following Tuesday was the home leg in the Tammela Stadion in Tampere, and that was it was a completely different event, wasn't it? Like there was a full house or near to full house.
Yeah, that's it.
8,000 capacity. I've experienced one of those this year. They've had a lot of full houses there in Tampere this year, haven't they? It's great to see. A few changes in the lineup with Tinni Korpela coming back in goal, being one of them. I don't think that strengthens or weakens the team. Really, maybe just that bit of experience and leadership. But as a keeper, Tamminen is
world class. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And one day Tinni will hang up those gloves, and no pun intended, I think Finland's in good hands.
Indeed, yeah. We got there's a plethora of brilliant female goalkeepers in Finland. So yeah, we're when Tinny does decide to call it a day, as you say, mate, we shouldn't have any problems in that position.
The game started again with another early goal for Finland, and it was a similar kind of strike. This time it was Sahlström played the ball through to Ria Erling, and she took it through on the left hand side, and this one went through the keeper's legs and settled the nerves. Having not seen the game on Friday and having not paid close enough attention to the fact that Montenegro were well below Finland in the Nations League groups, I was getting quite excited until I checked the tables and realised that what was happening on the pitch.
We really should be beating this.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly right. But what about that? What about the second goal from Lehtola? It was her. Was it her debut game or debut goal? Certainly, and
debut goal. Yeah.
Yeah, ball was played across from the right hand side and came to her sort of just on the left hand side of the box, well outside the area, and she hit this curling, dipping shot that went in the top corner, in off the bar. The Montenegrin keeper wasn't the tallest, but I don't think anyone would have been stopping the trajectory and whatever. And that was on the 12th minute, and that was kind of it, really, wasn't it? Game over from there on.
Yeah, as you say, mate, 2 early goals settled any nerves that they would have had from only taking a 1-0 victory away from Podgorica. And yeah, and Emma Koivisto, our good friend Emma Koivisto, did a third before half time. So and she looked particularly pleased to score that goal. So it was brilliant. I mean, yeah, like you said, having looked at the rankings, Finland would have expected a victory, but it's 11 v 11, isn't it? You got to do what you got to do, and yeah, to be 3-0 up at half time, I think would have they'd have been pleased with that, and yeah, and it set them up for a decent finish in the second half as well.
It's Emma Cuevista's goal, listener. She came in from the right. It was a kind of sort of jinking run into the box. I'd have to say that the defenders didn't put up
Too
anywhere
much of
near
a
enough of a challenge to,
resistance. Yeah,
yeah, but she got deep into the box and then sort of slotted it home, and that was nice. And she does get on the score sheet with some
yeah.
regularity. And then another really nice strike from Linda Salstrom coming down
Was
sort of,
that goal number 61 or 62 or something like that?
yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's incredible scoring record that she's got. And it was sort of towards the left hand side of the box, and sort of struck the ball high and into sort of the right hand side of the goal to make it 4-0 on 65. Um, and then a final goal for Haltonen in the
Yeah,
80th minute. It was another ball sprayed out to the wide to the left. Cross came in and she headed it down. I think it came off the defender's head or shoulder and into the bottom corner. There was a bit of VAR action, but the goal was given.
yeah. I think that was Lily's debut, wasn't it? Lily
Yes.
Hadtonen's debut. So yeah, debut goal. She's I think she's 19 or 21. Yeah, young girl, and yeah, to come on and get snatch a goal on your international debut is something to be cherished. So yeah, 5-0 on the night, 6-0 aggregate win, and sets up a lovely double header against our old mates Scotland. We've seen a bit of them in the past. I'm sure everybody remembers Amanda Rantanen's famous goal against the Scots in Edinburgh. So yeah, it's exciting, mate.
Yeah, those games are coming on Friday the 29th of November.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this here says it's a 9:35 kickoff in Finland. That's a
Correct.
7:35.
Yeah.
Why 35? What kind of kickoff time is that?
Who knows?
Okay, but that's right. Well, then the so that's up in Scotland on Friday 29th, and then
Yep.
on the Tuesday the 3rd, the return fixture in Finland. That's a 19:15 kickoff finish time.
Equally as ridiculous.
Yeah, it's true, but that's going to be like a 6:15 in the UK. It's not an awful time, but it's a bit early for you guys to be watching football.
Well, I'll just have to make sure I'm via telly, won't I?
Get a
But
slightly earlier train home.
that's it. But yeah, the Friday night one in Scotland, it's Easter Road in Edinburgh again, which I'm
Okay.
pretty sure is where the that last game was, where I mentioned Amanda Rantanen scored. So I'm pretty sure that was at Easter Road as well. So yeah, some very happy memories from there for the Helmarit. So let's hope they can repeat that.
Is it asking a bit too much for you and young Kimmy to get up there and bang the drum for that one on the Friday?
Listen. We had a look at it. We had a look at it, mate.
Bet
But
you
yes,
did.
I think it. Yeah. But listen, for them to be sort of, it's on the doorstep, really, isn't it? So for them to be so close, it's a shame to miss it. But yeah, British Rail wanted far too much of my hard earned to get me up and down. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, you
not
hear
this
this a
time.
lot from fans in Britain wanting to travel around, that it's expensive, and also it's expensive to do it at fairly short notice as
Indeed.
well. And you need the old, I don't know, trainline.com or something like that to work out the most economical way to do it. People in Finland don't realize quite how, I don't know,
How lucky
friendly.
they
Yeah,
are
how lucky they
with
are. How
with
friendly the VR service is.
with
Like, you can
yeah.
turn up there on the day and you pay top dollar and it's like €50 one way. You're lucky to get that in the UK if you book it months and months in advance. So
Well, I think it's coming out at something like 326 quid return for me to get to Edinburgh.
nah, that's not good, is it? It's not good.
I
You
love
probably
you,
fly
Helmarit, but 326 quid is a lot of money.
you probably fly up there cheaper than that.
Indeed.
Um, all right, so those games coming up at the end of November, and we will certainly do something before and after those games, I guess. But then this Nations League draw, I think this is something just to sort of prepare everyone
Touch on. Yeah.
for. There's some
I'll tell
interesting.
you what, mate, you need some preparation for this as well. When when this lot come out the hat, I thought it was some sort of joke.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tour of all the dictatorships in Europe, isn't it? So
Yeah, no
Finland,
offense.
no, well, none, some taken possibly.
Yeah,
But Finland will be playing against Serbia, Hungary, and Belarus. I suppose one thing is there's some different names there, so it's always good to see some different teams coming through,
yeah,
and testing ourselves against them and just seeing them play against different teams in different kits rather than Kazakhstan
yeah.
or Bosnia and Herzegovina or whatever. So um, those games are being played from February through from the end of February to the
June,
beginning
yeah.
of June. Um, and the fixtures are in the blog post. So wherever you're watching or listening, just look down below and you'll see the link there.
Yep.
Just while I was reading up on it a little bit, that a few points that kind of caught my eye. So as usual, the four League A group winners will contest the finals, but now the semi-finals and the final will be over two legs rather than one leg straight knockout. Automatic promotion and relegation. We'll see the winners of Leagues B and C go straight up. The fourth place teams in League A will go down. The fourth place teams in League B will go down, and the two lowest ranked third place teams. Because the way this works, there's four groups in League A, four groups in League B, and six groups in League C. So that there's promotion and relegation for all the group winners, then there's a little bit of extra jeopardy in those League B groups. So that's something that may or may not affect Finland. I mean, we're just dropping down from League A after the Euros, so being in League B, hopefully we'll be a bit more competitive.
Indeed.
But yeah, there's some info there and a link to that wonderful UEFA website that I've mentioned once or twice in past. But it does have all the information you might need there.
There you go.
All right, let's move on to the men's national team, the Huuhkajat, and it's been a tough autumn. Well, it's been a bit longer than that, but it's been particularly tough autumn. And the four games that Finland have played, as you know, has seen a 3-0 defeat away to Greece, a 2-0 defeat away to England, a 2-1 home defeat to the Republic of Ireland, and a 3-1 home defeat to England. And I think that Republic of Ireland one is the one that really stings.
Out, yeah.
Not because it was necessarily an unfair result, but it's the team that you think that's the one we really need to be in this group to sort of stay up. And now we're in a bit of trouble. So we've got a home game, an away game, sorry, with the Republic of Ireland on Thursday the 14th, and a home game with Greece on Sunday the 17th.
Yep.
Keke, first of all, talk us through the squad. What did you notice about players in or players out from this squad?
Yeah, so it's an interesting one, mate, because there's a couple of I was going to say new faces, but very old faces who are making a welcome return. So
familiar faces,
exactly. Daniel O'Shaughnessy, recently back with Huuhkajat has been recalled. I think it's been almost 2 years since Daniel was involved with Huuhkajat. He went off to Germany, suffered a bit of an injury there, and has made his way back to Finland with Huuhkajat, and has been putting in some performances and earned himself a recall. I mean, there was back then 2 or so years ago when the guys were cutting about in this kit still, you would have banked O'Shaughnessy to be your number one centre back for an X amount of years, but obviously the move to Germany didn't quite work out, and the injury put pay to that. but it's nice to see him back playing football and back involved with the squad. So that's the main thing, he's getting back playing, and yeah, we'll see if he can recapture some of that form. Another guy who's back in the squad after a similar amount of time is Onni Valakari, who's gone to AIK in Sweden in the Allsvenskan. And since he signed for them, mate, he's just been popping up with goals and assists, free kicks, getting assists from corners. He's really settled into life there in Stockholm.
I was talking about him to somebody the other day, that he had this nice, I'm sure it was a very nice lifestyle, living and playing in Cyprus. I mean, that's lovely. But this is a step up, isn't it? Like,
I think so, mate.
AIK is a real big team in Sweden, and a very, very competitive league as well.
Yeah, I mean, AIK, they're a massive side, one of the Stockholm big three, I guess. But yeah, they've had their ups and they've had their downs. But yeah, Swedish season has just finished, and they managed to pip local rivals Djurgården, who Finland fans will be familiar with, for the trio that plays there. But they AIK managed to pip them to third spot, so they claim the last European spot from the Allsvenskan. So yeah, Onni Valakari will be playing in European competition next season.
Did he move there permanently, or is he there on loan?
I'm pretty sure it's a permanent signing, mate. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So he is. He'll be back in action there in spring and in Europe in the summertime.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And as you quite rightly say, mate, like Cyprus, not a bad place to be playing football, but at Onni's age, maybe he needs to be in a more showcase league, but a league that's maybe more familiar to the selectors and the coaches. I don't know, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's great to see him back. I mean, if we could find out where Marcus Forss was hiding, I think it'd be just like the good old days when we claimed that win away in France. Do you remember that?
But, absolutely. And when Onni first burst into the team, like he looked exciting. And I don't know. There was never really any reason given for him not being in the team. Maybe it was because of where he was playing, but then, is it less competitive there than some of the other leagues that players are playing in? I don't know. Was it personal issues with the coach or the coaching team? I don't know. I'm speculating. I don't have any inside knowledge, but what I do know is it's really good to see him back there. It's good to see. Well, he is an Ashley Court old boy. He never quite made it into the first team before they moved on. But to see him and Daniel Hawkins in the squad, that's nice, and good to see him back as well. Hawkins, having been out for a little while. Yeah,
as you say, mate. Good to see Daniel back. Anssi Suhonen, who's another one who's had a couple of injury problems, more than one injury problem. He's suffered his fair share at a young age, but yeah, he's fit and back in the squad, so that's great. Kaan Kairinen is in this squad. He's been selected for the past few squads, but another one who's had to sort of pull out with little niggles, trying to get himself 100% fit. But yeah, fingers crossed. So far, he's still in this squad for these two games. Who else have we got? Adam Stahl misses out. I was a bit unsure, but someone has informed me. One of the SMU cores informed me that he's awaiting the birth of his child. So it was more to do with that. He didn't want to disappear away from his missus when his little baby was about to be born. So that's the reason for no Adam Stahl. But yeah, Jari Uranen's there. Can't go wrong with him. Yeah, the other MLS-based players, Teemu Pukki and Robin Lod, are both there. And yeah, another one in the forward line is Benjamin Chellerman, who's not stopped scoring the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he can take some of that form into the internationals. I mean, you mentioned, mate, those. When you look at it on paper, those 4 defeats from 4 games in this Nations League, obviously they do hurt, and the statistics are there. They don't lie. But we got together after these games, and while the defeats were hard to take, especially the both performances against England were. Well, we had a go. Do you know what I mean? Like, we did have a go. So, Yeah, I mean, it's is there much to play for? Are we able to stay in this division of the Nations League? I'm not sure if we get 6 points out of this. Is that even achievable? 6 points from these two games, but I do hope that whoever is selected for the starting 11 or across the two games gives us 110%, especially those of us who are travelling over to Dublin, and we'll see if we can at least get some points on the board.
So, what about your trip to Dublin? We know what the Ireland team did last time.
Yep.
They crafted a couple of very quite British style goals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I expect. I mean, it was only a month ago, so I expect that the games will be fairly similar.
Yeah.
Um, we have to be going there to win. We have to be going to win both these games, like you say, to have a chance of staying in this group. Although, as was said in the last pod, I think Rasmus said it, and that maybe dropping down won't hurt. Then we get back to that
No.
level we're competitive and we build up again.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be so adverse to that myself. You know what I mean? If we do drop down to the next level and face teams who are maybe more on our level, and we can pick up some points and grab some confidence, I wouldn't be totally against that. But you look at this Ireland side, and as you say, mate, they are familiar. The last game wasn't that long ago, but yeah, they're all playing at a decent level. Mostly, I think there's a smattering of Celtic players in there, but yeah, mostly in England, across the Premier League or the Championship level at least. So yeah, there's some familiar names in there, and not least the coach Heimir Hallgrimsson, the Icelander. We've had our own run-ins with Iceland over the years as well. So yeah, it's. But I just hope that we give it a go. I think we went 1-0 up at home, didn't we? And Poyampalo scored that goal, and we thought, okay, we're gonna give it a crack. But yeah, the one at the end where Brady scored it with 2 or 3 minutes to go was the real kick in the knackers. But yeah, let's hope that we can at least get a couple on the board and try and give Ireland a run for their money in Dublin, mate.
And then Greece on Sunday. I think no one's taking Greece lightly now, are they? Even bringing them to Helsinki in the middle of November, where it could be a bit parky, a bit chilly. But
Yeah.
but actually, even here in Seinäjoki by the weekend, it's going to be like +8. So it's probably not cold enough. Would have been nice, a bit of frost on their boots and get into them. But what will be interesting is also the result of that England-Greece game, because if Greece can pull something off, where is that game being played? In Athens.
Yeah.
If Greece can make something happen there, that's going to make life very interesting for the England team and the new manager coming in the new year. All right. What about your trip to Dublin? Anything much planned, or just boozing and singing?
Well, no, I've got plenty planned, to be honest, mate.
Have you? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm not there too long. I'm only there for one night, but I mean, some of the guys are there already. Seppo, friend of the show, Seppo,
Yeah.
he was on a flight yesterday. Managed to get on he just booked a flight, and it turned out the Finland squad were on the same flight as him. So yeah,
friend of the show, Seppo should have recorded a few interviews and sent them over for these other friends on the show.
He should have. But so yeah, he's already there, and a few of the others are already there. So sampling the Guinness, I suppose. So yeah, I've got a ticket to the Guinness Storehouse, which I'm told is the done thing when you're in Dublin. You've got to go and see the St James's Gate, where they make that awful stuff, and they give you a pint of it at the end. So I should be doing my selfie with my pint of Guinness.
Good stuff. Happy to hear it. I look forward to seeing it.
Indeed, and yeah, I've got what else have I got booked? I'm going to an old Victorian prison as well in the centre of Dublin, which is another one of their tourist attractions. Hopefully, they let me out and don't mistake
they
me.
might throw you in there the night before if you don't behave yourself.
You never know. You never know. Find up in one of their famous wagons. But but no, I'm looking forward to it, mate. Should be good. Yeah. So as always, travelling alone, but I should be meeting up with quite a few familiar friends and familiar faces when I get there.
But even I felt when we went to London, like even if you're traveling by yourself, you're not traveling alone.
No, that's right.
Like there's people there, and especially you've been doing it for so long now that you get out of the airport or even probably at the airport and you'll start bumping into some familiar faces. So
That's it.
yeah,
The only weird one, the only question I've got, I need to put a message in the SMU Cod group. Actually, is I'm not quite sure. I've unless I've missed it, if they've decided on the pub for the meeting point yet. But it's SMU Cod nearly always choose an Irish pub wherever we go. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're going to where they're going to choose in Dublin. They'll have to find I don't know, find something else.
Oh, the thing is, in Ireland, they just call it a pub.
Yeah.
Then which one? Therein lies the challenge.
Oh dear. So yeah, but it'll be fun, mate. We'll have a good time, whatever happens.
Good stuff. Well, definitely we'll get together after this in a week or so. Even if it's just the two of us, we do need to have our kind of Veikkaus Liga end of season roundup as well. Because we haven't done it yet, and that's a very, very slack of us. But I'm sure you'll forgive us, listener. If you pay us better, then we'll perform better.
Indeed.
I think that just about wraps it up. Keke.
Sounds good.
Have a safe trip to Dublin.
Thanks, mate.
Send us a few pics. You normally do.
I will do. Yep.
And listener, you can probably follow Keke's exploits on Instagram. He normally has a few bits and pieces going up on there as well. But Keke, until next episode, goodbye.
Kiitos, näkemiin.
And listener, thanks for listening. And until next episode of the Finnish Football Show, to you also, goodbye.
You've been listening to the Finnish Football Show. You can find us online at finishfootballshow.com. Remember to subscribe to the show wherever you're listening or watching. You can follow the Finnish Football Show page and group on Facebook and also on Instagram. Escape to Suomi on Twitter is now Finnish Football Show on X. And you will find us on Blue Sky at Finnish Football Pod. See the links in the episode description, along with the links to the Finnish Football Show merch shirts.